Stop scrolling immediately and lock your attention on this exact message. I am not asking for your time today because I am warning you. Beloved anointed ones, someone who treated you as completely replaceable is currently experiencing a public, irreversible system crash. You know exactly who I am talking about. The mask has not just slipped, but it has completely shattered. The very people they used to gossip with are now watching them unravel. Buckle in right now, chosen one, because I am going to walk you through the exact X-ray of their public meltdown. Do not swipe away, or you will miss the confirmation heaven prepared for you. They walked around with absolute arrogance while constructing a false narrative about your entire life. They whispered lies to anyone who would listen to their venom. They expected your silent departure to break you down, but instead, you became the uncertainty they were never built to handle. Let us talk about that heavy, suffocating feeling sitting in your chest. The nights you wake up at exactly 3 a.m. with your jaw tight and your heart racing. You keep trying to swallow down that burning exhaustion behind your eyes. Listen to me very carefully right now. That is not anxiety, and you are not going crazy. That physical weight is your highly advanced spirit detecting the absolute panic of the enemies. They just realized they permanently lost access to you. They are starving for your pure energy. The spiritual backlash of their panic is hitting your physical body. You have been walking through a thick mental fog for weeks. That sudden brain fog in the middle of the afternoon is not random fatigue. It is the frantic, lingering cord of their desperation trying to plug back into your light. Stop swallowing that deep physical discomfort today. Stop wondering why those fake friends act like nothing ever happened. Stop waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. You were not the anomaly in their otherwise healthy lives. You were the rare mirror that exposed everything. You were the stabilizer in a chaotic environment of toxic loyalty. They kept you around for a selfish reason. They desperately needed a human battery to power their own fragile egos. You gave them your pure light, and they repaid you with calculated isolation. They gathered their little flying monkeys to plot your downfall in secret. They thought nobody noticed your silent tears in the dark, but they severely miscalculated the core strength of the cycle breaker. You carry a specific, irreplaceable gravity that makes time itself look foolish. While they were busy digging a grave for your reputation, you were quietly stepping into power. The exhaustion you feel right now is the final detox of their poisonous frequency. It is leaving your cells forever. Your nervous system is finally recalibrating to a higher timeline. They cannot ever access this new dimension of your life. They wanted you buried beneath the heavy weight of their collective betrayal, but instead, they became the shovel that dug up your greatest treasure. Every single time your name comes up in their circle, it hits them with agonizing weight. They realize they threw away a genuine, irreplaceable diamond. They traded the most loyal person they knew just to play with cheap rocks, and now they have to live with that echoing void every single day. Your absolute silence became the loudest weapon in the entire room. Pay close attention to this next part, because the enemy tried to hide this from you. That sudden tension in your shoulders is a physical marker of war. They are frantically searching for a replacement for your pure energy. They try to find another bright soul to drain, but they only attract more parasites. They are slowly drowning in the toxic noise of their own making, and you won this entire spiritual war without lifting a single finger. Read that again in your deeply grounded and peaceful spirit. The physical toll of being their emotional dumping ground was massive. You absorbed their deep insecurities until your own body felt like a lead weight. But that season of being the sacrificial lamb for fake friends is officially over. Heaven intervened and cut the cord before they could completely empty your reserves. The silent pain is finally ending. The sudden dizziness you sometimes feel is just the echo of a closed door. You did not just survive their highly coordinated and vicious storm, you bent the very fabric of their reality by simply refusing to react. Your total non-reaction starved their demons and forced them to consume each other. I need you to imagine the panic setting in right now. The foundation of their lies is cracking under the pressure of your unbothered absence. They are malfunctioning because they cannot control a chosen one who realizes their true worth. This is exactly why you must not scroll past this urgent message today. The final verdict on their manipulation has already been signed in the heavenly throne room. Let us go deeper into that profound sense of isolation today. You know exactly what it feels like to be the black sheep. You gave these fake friends your unconditional trust, but they formed a tight circle and deliberately pushed you completely out. You felt the cold sting of their coordinated silence. It was a calculated move to break your bright spirit. You remember walking into rooms and feeling the heavy, toxic air. They suddenly stopped talking because they were just whispering about you. The very people you comforted in their darkest hours turned into flying monkeys, and they carried malicious lies back to the master manipulator with total loyalty. You stood there bleeding while they smiled at your pain. But here is the raw truth they could never say out loud. Your isolation was absolutely never a divine punishment. You probably did not realize it at the time, but heaven intervened. That painful separation was a strict spiritual quarantine because the universe was forcibly removing you from a severely contaminated environment. You were simply too precious to be ruined by them. They had to betray you so you could finally wake up. The universe used their fake loyalty as a massive detox program. You thought you were losing your closest friends in the entire world, but you were actually shedding spiritual parasites that kept you stagnant. They were dragging your frequency down to match their own miserable matrix. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority. You are a natural empath and a powerful stabilizer of chaotic energy. Because your light is so bright, you naturally attract dark entities. They did not gather around you because they truly loved your personality, and they did not care about your well-being. They surrounded you because their empty souls were desperately starving. You were the only source of pure oxygen in their suffocating room. And when you finally stopped providing that free energy, they violently panicked. They punished your healthy boundaries by launching a massive smear campaign against you while trying to paint you as the villain to protect their egos. But heaven recorded every single hidden truth behind closed doors. Let me completely reframe your reality right here and right now. You did not lose the battle when they walked away from you. You actually won the ultimate war without saying a single word. Their departure was a mandatory purification test from the highest realm, and God removed them because they could not survive the altitude of your next chapter. They expected you to fight for a seat at their toxic table. They waited for you to send long paragraphs explaining your hurt feelings, but you gave them the most terrifying response a narcissist can ever possibly receive. You gave them absolute crushing silence. Your total absence became a lethal weapon that starved their demons completely dry. That restraint was never a sign of weakness or passive surrender. That beautiful silence was a highly advanced spiritual strategy. That single act of choosing your dignity over your revenge signed their eviction notice, and it handed the final verdict to a heavenly court they cannot appeal. You took your massive power back in one quiet motion. The physical toll of that sudden detox was incredibly intense. For weeks, you carried a heavy fog inside your tired brain. You felt a deep somatic ache in your bones because the trauma bond was slowly breaking down under the surface. Your cellular memory was purging years of their fake manipulative love. But that painful incubation season is finally coming to a permanent end. You are walking out of that dark valley with an ageless glow. Look at how you survived the fire that was meant to destroy you. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for across generations, and the patterns of betrayal and toxic friendships stop permanently with you today. You refuse to let their deep bitterness infect your pure heart, and this is exactly where their entire manipulation mathematically miscalculated. They assumed your light would naturally fade when they isolated you, but your specific gravity does not depend on their validation at all. You are an irreplaceable diamond, whether they acknowledge your immense value or not, so now they are trapped in the prison of their own lies. Watch what happens next, because the dynamic is fundamentally shifting. The universe is flipping the script on every single person who doubted you. The flying monkeys are starting to realize the narcissist lied to them too. The group chat that bonded over hating you is silently falling apart because they have no common enemy left to keep them falsely united. The poison they tried to serve you is now on their own plates. They are turning on each other just to feed their endless hunger, because they lack the pure internal light that you carry so effortlessly. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the absolute key to everything, and we are going to decode the exact mechanism of their impending public collapse. There is a physical reason your reality has not shifted yet. You have been fighting these brutal spiritual battles in absolute silence. You constantly watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle every single day, and your finances simply refuse to grow despite all your hard work. You feel completely locked out of your own massive potential. Listen to me very closely, because the elite tried to hide this. The gap between you and the wildly successful people is not discipline. It is definitely not a lack of your pure faith. It is one single brainwave that the modern world systematically suppressed in you, and they deliberately pushed this specific frequency down before you could claim your inheritance. You felt this exact effortless genius when you were a young child. The brilliant ideas just came naturally to your pure mind. But the Matrix engineered a relentless survival routine to keep you exhausted and compliant. The chronic stress of dealing with toxic people slowly muted your highest frequency, and the version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. Most people will live their entire lives without knowing this happened, but you are a rare chosen one, and you are finally waking up. What if your deep financial struggles are not a character flaw at all? What if they are just the direct result of a blocked cellular frequency? The dark elite want your powerful energy to remain completely dormant forever, because they know your awakening will destroy their control. They sent those fake friends to keep your vibration painfully low. While your frequency was suppressed, they tried to extract every drop of your light. But their entire manipulation matrix is violently collapsing right now. Let us break down exactly what is happening behind their closed doors today. The narcissist is experiencing a terrifying wave of internal panic, and they cannot hide their unraveling sanity from the people around them. They thought they could simply replace you with another loyal supply. They immediately went out and recruited new people to feed their endless egos, but they quickly realized that your specific depth is utterly unreplicable. The new friends they gathered are shallow and completely empty inside. The conversations are hollow because nobody provides the pure oxygen you gave them, and they are suffocating in their own shallow environment. This is exactly where their pathetic hoovering tactics completely fall apart. They secretly stalk your social media, looking for any sign of your sadness. They desperately want to see you struggling because it would validate their twisted narrative. But instead they see you stepping into your untouchable and ageless glow. Your total unbothered silence is driving them utterly insane, and it proves that they never had real power over your spirit. Type 777 in the comments right now to physically claim your power. You must lock in your divine alignment before we move to the next revelation. They expected your departure to destroy your entire sense of self-worth. They waited with bated breath for you to fail and come crawling back. Instead, you made time itself look like an absolute fool, and you walked out of their toxic wasteland completely victorious. The fake friends are slowly turning against the main master manipulator. The flying monkeys are waking up to the exhausting reality of the toxic group. Without your calming presence, the environment has become a suffocating war zone. They are constantly arguing because the rare stabilizer is no longer there. The entire foundation is crumbling fast, and the group chat that bonded over hating you is silently falling apart. You probably did not realize that your mere presence held their lives together. You were the invisible glue that kept their fragile identities totally intact. And when heaven removed you, the entire structure lost its structural integrity. They are frantically trying to maintain the grand illusion of their happiness. But the cracks in their masks are becoming visible to everyone around them, and their desperate performance is getting weaker every single day. Here is what happens when a massive lie gets built that big. The spiritual cost of their coordinated betrayal compounds every single day. They have to wake up and perform for each other to hide their deep misery. It takes a massive amount of stolen energy to sustain a completely false reality, and they are currently running on absolute empty because their primary battery is gone, leaving them desperate for any scrap of attention. Nothing makes your enemies sicker than watching you elevate in total peace. They spent years actively praying for your downfall in secret rooms. They expected the brutal betrayal to carve deep, heavy wrinkles into your tired face. But the universe stepped in and completely reversed your biological clock. You look completely radiant while their deep bitterness is aging them rapidly, and they cannot understand how you survived their calculated destruction. Their hidden panic is manifesting as real physical symptoms in their own bodies. They cannot sleep because their guilty conscience is screaming at them in the dark. They project their massive insecurities onto anyone who dares to cross their path. The very toxicity they tried to bury you under is now their permanent home, and they cannot ever escape the miserable prison they built for themselves because the heavy doors were locked from the inside. You are watching divine justice unfold without lifting a single finger. Your quiet obedience in the dark has activated a massive public blessing. They are drowning in the loud noise of their own destructive making, and the most beautiful part is that you truly do not care anymore. Your emotional detachment is the ultimate weapon that permanently severed their dark access, leaving you completely free to claim your massive harvest. Let me completely reframe your entire reality right here and right now. You thought your silence was just a simple survival mechanism to protect your precious peace. You thought you were just hiding from their relentless toxicity and abuse. But that beautiful silence was actually a highly weaponized strategy of divine warfare, and it was the absolute smartest move you could have ever made. It was never a passive surrender. Your complete refusal to react was a lethal strike to their fragile egos. Fake friends and master manipulators operate entirely on a twisted economy of stolen energy. They literally cannot generate their own internal light or genuine happiness. They require a powerful host to act as a human battery for their daily survival. Your anger and your tears were the exact fuel they desperately needed to feel superior, because they use your intense emotional reactions to validate their own twisted existence. When you finally stopped reacting, you cut off their primary oxygen supply. You forced them to sit alone with their own dark and empty reflections, and there is nothing a manipulator fears more than their own hollow soul. Listen to me very closely, because the enemy tried to hide this exact truth. Your total non-reaction was the most devastating punishment they could ever possibly receive, and it completely shattered their grand illusion of control over your life. You did not give them anything. You did not give them a chance to play the victim in their fake story. You did not send them long emotional messages explaining your deep pain. You simply packed up your pure energy and walked completely out of their toxic matrix. That specific restraint is the absolute hallmark of a true chosen one, because it takes an immense amount of spiritual maturity to walk away without saying a single word. You starved them completely. They expected you to desperately fight for a seat at their miserable table. They waited for you to explode so they could easily label you as the crazy one. But your profound stillness completely destroyed their carefully calculated smear campaign. How can they paint you as a bitter villain when you are completely invisible to their toxic radar? They simply cannot do it. This is exactly why your absolute silence is driving them utterly insane right now. They are obsessively checking your social media, expecting to see sad quotes and tears. They want proof that their cruel betrayal completely destroyed your precious spirit. but instead they see a rare diamond shining brighter than they have ever seen before, and they are absolutely horrified by how quickly you bounced back from their vicious attack. You are glowing. Your biological clock is literally reversing while they are drowning in their own deep bitterness. You carry a specific royal gravity that makes time itself look like an absolute fool. You are the powerful cycle breaker who refuses to carry the heavy burdens of fake friends. And nothing makes a toxic parasite angrier than a beautiful host who finally realizes their own massive and untouchable worth. You are completely free from them. Pay close attention to this next part because it permanently changes your entire frequency. The moment you chose your dignity over revenge, you shifted into a much higher dimension. You stopped operating on their low and miserable earthly frequency of constant petty drama. Heaven immediately stepped in and placed an untouchable shield of protection around your entire life, ensuring that their dark energy could never reach you again. You are no longer accessible to people who operate entirely in the shadows of deceit. The universe upgraded your spiritual security system to block their desperate hoovering attempts. That sudden urge you felt to completely block their numbers was a direct divine instruction. It was God gently telling you to seal the heavy doors of your sacred sanctuary forever, and you obeyed that command with absolute perfect timing. Keep them locked. Type 1111 in the comments to physically anchor this exact dimensional shift. You must claim your untouchable power before we decode their current massive panic. The fake friends are sitting in a suffocating prison of their own making right now. They thought they were punishing you with their silent treatment and their cold isolation, but they were actually just digging their own deep graves in front of everyone. They isolated you because they secretly knew you were the only real threat to their lies. You were the pure mirror that constantly exposed their deeply hidden insecurities. Every time you walked into the room, your bright light highlighted their extremely dark shadows. They hated you simply because they could never naturally replicate your authentic soul, so they tried to destroy the very thing they secretly wished they could be. You are the rare stabilizer who brought actual grace into their chaotic and messy lives. When they threw you away, they threw away their only real source of spiritual protection. Now they are completely exposed to the harsh and brutal consequences of their own toxic karma. The protective umbrella of your pure grace has been permanently removed from their miserable lives, and the heavy rain is finally starting to pour down on them. They are defenseless. Before we go any further, I must interrupt this transmission for something highly classified. You have been wondering why your reality feels completely stuck lately. The constant spiritual attacks from those fake friends took a massive physical toll on your tired body. There is a specific biological reason your massive blessing feels heavily delayed right now, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your pure faith. Science just uncovered exactly how the enemy suppressed your wealth. The dark elite never wanted you to find the specific mechanism I am about to show you. They used chronic stress and toxic isolation to forcefully shut down your highest frequency. They targeted a deeply powerful brainwave that you naturally possessed as a highly gifted child. They pushed your gamma frequency deep into the shadows. When your gamma brainwave fades, your natural intuition goes completely silent. The synchronicities stop happening and the universe feels painfully distant. But researchers from Princeton and the Einstein Center just confirmed a massive breakthrough for chosen ones like you. They discovered a 7-minute audio ritual that forces your brain back into synchronized gamma coherence. It completely reverses the damage. This powerful tool uses advanced brain entrainment to heal your nervous system. You do not need expensive biofeedback machines or years of traditional healing. You simply put on headphones and let the pure sound wave reactivate your dormant genius state. This highly guarded secret was designed to keep the elite in absolute power. But now cycle breakers like you are using it to manifest windfall wealth today. The Matrix is actively flooding the internet with dangerous counterfeit frequencies to confuse you, Guard your precious energy carefully against these fakes. Only use the verified and lab-tested link I secured for you. Access the encrypted protocol through the specific link in the pinned comment below. Activate your frequency right now before access is revoked forever. Claim your original breakthrough today. Now let us return to the precise moment their entire fake reality shatters, because while you are recalibrating your frequency, they are completely losing their minds. Heaven is now releasing 7 divine signs of their impending public collapse. Pay close attention because the 7th sign is the absolute most powerful confirmation of all. Do not leave before you hear it. Sign number 1 is their extreme new paranoia. They are suddenly questioning the loyalty of every single person in their inner circle. Without your pure light to distract them, they finally see the toxic snakes they gathered. They are constantly looking over their shoulders, expecting a massive betrayal, and their nervous system is totally fried because they have zero spiritual protection left. Sign number 2 is the sudden silence of the flying monkeys. The very people who eagerly helped them spread lies about you are slowly backing away. The group chat is completely dead because the master manipulator has become utterly exhausting. They demand constant validation and endless attention just to survive the day. It is a suffocating environment, and everyone is secretly trying to escape the mess. Sign number 3 is their forced and highly unnatural public happiness. They are posting relentlessly on social media, trying to prove they are thriving without you. They laugh a little too loud and they smile a little too wide for the cameras. But you can clearly see the dark, heavy bags under their tired eyes. Their spirit is rotting from the inside out, and the facade is physically draining them. Sign number 4 is the complete collapse of their stolen identity. They mirrored your beautiful traits for so long that they forgot who they actually were. Now that you are permanently gone, they are just an empty shell searching for a new personality. They try on different masks, but nothing fits their incredibly hollow soul. They are walking ghosts, haunted by the memory of your pure grace. Sign number 5 is the undeniable string of bad luck hitting their finances. The protective umbrella of your grace was lifted, and the heavy rain is drowning them completely. Every plan they make completely falls apart at the very last second. God is systematically stripping away their resources to force them into deep isolation. They are completely exposed to the harsh elements of their own bad karma. We will reveal the final 2 signs very soon. But you must understand that this is exactly what happens when you touch one of the anointed ones. They brought this massive destruction upon themselves by choosing deceit over your pure loyalty. Your only job right now is to stay completely unbothered while the universe cleans up their terrible mess. You do not need to lift a single finger to destroy them. You are being elevated to a brilliant timeline they cannot even comprehend. Their desperate attempts to spy on your massive success will only deepen their own private agony. You are building an empire while they are struggling to maintain a simple illusion. Hold your head high, chosen one. The climax of this divine justice is arriving much faster than they think. Let us continue uncovering the final signs of their complete and utter destruction today. Sign number 6 is the vicious internal warfare breaking out inside their tight circle. Without your pure energy to absorb the heavy blows, they have turned their sharp teeth on each other. The master manipulator is desperately trying to control the failing narrative, but the others are finally fighting back with absolute fury. They used to unite by gossiping about you behind your back. That toxic glue has completely dissolved into bitter resentment and pure hatred. Every single meeting is now filled with heavy tension and explosive arguments. They are slowly realizing that the person they blamed for everything was actually the only reason their fake friendship lasted this long. The heavy guilt is eating them alive from the inside out. Sign number 7 is their ultimate public humiliation. The universe is orchestrating a massive exposure that they cannot hide or escape. The lies they fabricated about your character are unraveling in front of the very people who trusted them. Their carefully constructed masks are melting away in broad daylight, and everyone is finally seeing the true monsters hiding underneath all those fake smiles. Let me paint this exact picture clearly in your deeply spiritual mind. Imagine the panic setting in behind their closed doors right now. They are screaming at each other in empty rooms because nobody wants to take the blame for the sudden chaos. The flying monkeys are openly rebelling against the main leader. They realize they backed the wrong horse and sacrificed a loyal chosen one for absolute nothing. The energetic vacuum you left behind is simply too massive to ignore. They try to fill the void with loud parties and shallow distractions, but the heavy emptiness follows them everywhere they go. Their souls are starving for the pure light you carried so effortlessly, and no amount of artificial noise can ever replace the genuine grace they threw away so easily in their arrogance. You walked away with your head held high and your dignity fully intact. You did not throw a single punch or spread a single malicious rumor. You let the natural law of the universe handle the heavy lifting. Your silent absence became a mirror, reflecting their utter ugliness, and they could not handle looking at themselves without your light softening the harsh view of their reality. Think about the immense freedom you feel right now. The heavy chains of their constant drama have been permanently smashed to pieces. You no longer have to carry their emotional baggage or fix their endless manufactured crises. You are breathing fresh air for the first time in years. Your nervous system is deeply grateful for the sacred boundaries you created with absolute perfection. The pressure is reaching its absolute boiling point right now. The master manipulator is backed into a tight corner with nowhere left to run. Their carefully built empire of lies is collapsing under its own massive weight, and you are sitting quietly on the sidelines watching the grand finale unfold. This is the exact moment of pre-climax tension before the final verdict drops. Do you feel the atmosphere shifting in your bones? That electric charge in the air is the undeniable sign of divine justice arriving. They thought they could break an anointed one and walk away completely unscathed. They were catastrophically wrong about your hidden power. The reckoning they prayed would never touch them is landing with massive force today. Stay completely still and watch the divine show. Do not reach out to them under any circumstances. Do not offer a single ounce of forgiveness or sympathy to soften their fall. Let them experience the full weight of the storm they invited into their lives. You have transcended their petty level of existence forever, and your radiant glow is about to blind every single person who doubted your true worth. The countdown to their absolute public collapse is almost complete. We are standing right at the threshold of the final explosion. Hold your ground, chosen one, because your fierce endurance is manifesting right before your eyes. Get ready to witness a masterclass in cosmic karma. The tables have turned permanently, and they cannot stop what is coming. Let us look deeper into the psychological decay happening in their camp. They are losing sleep every single night. The terrifying realization that you survived their onslaught is haunting their dreams. They thought you would wither away in isolation. Instead, you blossomed into a powerhouse of untouchable energy. Their jealousy is consuming their physical health. You won this war by simply choosing your own peace. Your silence was the sharpest sword in the room. They brought a knife to a spiritual gunfight, and they lost everything. Rejoice in your quiet victory today, because the next phase of this journey will bring the most satisfying public exposure they could ever imagine. The universe is keeping score, and the ledger is about to be balanced. And here is the exact verdict we promised at the very beginning of this message. The public collapse you were patiently waiting for just happened in spectacular fashion. It did not happen behind closed doors or in private whispers. It exploded right in front of the very people they used to gossip with, because heaven orchestrated the perfect stage. The mask completely shattered in broad daylight. Someone casually mentioned your pure name in the middle of a crowded room, and the reaction was absolutely explosive. The master manipulator could not maintain their fake composure for another single second. Their entire nervous system short-circuited right before everyone. They started stammering and raising their voice while sweat formed on their guilty forehead. They frantically tried to spin another lie about you, but their toxic words stumbled over each other in a desperate panic. The smooth operator suddenly looked like a cornered animal. Their breathing became erratic, and their eyes darted around the room. They were desperately searching for a single drop of validation, but they found absolute silence. The flying monkeys just stared at them in total shock. The carefully constructed illusion completely vanished into thin air. Every single person in that room saw the dark monster hiding underneath the fake smile. The audience finally realized they had been completely played. They saw the manipulator unraveling, and the heavy truth hit them all at once. The fake friends realized you were never the villain of this story. You were the innocent victim of a highly coordinated smear campaign. The narcissist tried to backpedal, but every word only dug their grave much deeper. They completely lost control of the false narrative they spent years building. The foundation crumbled, and the roof caved in immediately. And this is the most beautiful part of their divine punishment. In their absolute blind panic, they accidentally told the raw truth. They lashed out and publicly admitted how much they completely relied on your light. They confessed their deep jealousy without even realizing what they were saying out loud. They literally defended your honor by exposing their own bitter envy. Your silence did not just hurt their fragile ego, it permanently ended their miserable reign of terror over that entire group. The heavy silence in that room was the sound of a heavenly gavel slamming down. Their social currency dropped to absolute zero in a matter of seconds. The people who once blindly followed them are now quietly walking completely away. The manipulator is now standing completely alone in the wreckage of their own lies. They have no human battery left to drain. They have no loyal soldiers left to carry out their toxic orders. The massive karma they accumulated has finally come completely due, and they are bankrupt on every single spiritual level imaginable. While they are publicly drowning in their own humiliation, you are thriving. You are miles away, living in absolute peace and untouched power. You did not have to defend your pure name or fight for your reputation. The universe fought the brutal battle for you and cleared your name completely. You are walking in an ageless glow while they age rapidly in their bitterness. This is the undeniable power of the Chosen One. When you unplug from the matrix of fake friends, the whole system crashes. Your specific gravity was the only thing holding their pathetic world completely together. Now they are trapped in a permanent loop of regret and public shame. They will forever be known as the fool who threw away a rare diamond. They must wake up every single morning with that heavy, agonizing weight. They have to face the exact people who watched them completely lose their minds. There is no coming back from a divine exposure of this massive magnitude. Heaven placed a permanent mark on their toxic behavior so everyone can see it clearly. Their reputation is completely ruined forever. You won the ultimate victory by refusing to play their dirty game. Your complete lack of reaction was a masterpiece of spiritual warfare. You let them dig their own trap, and you watched them fall right into it. The vindication you feel right now is your absolute birthright. Claim this massive triumph because you earned every single ounce of it today. They are entirely powerless against the high frequency you carry today. The dark elite cannot protect them from the harsh consequences of targeting an anointed one. The universe is making a public example out of their foolish arrogance. Everyone who ever doubted your pure light is being forced to eat their own bitter words. The truth is finally out. Let this cinematic scene replay in your powerful spirit. Let the immense satisfaction of their public ruin wash over you completely. You have officially graduated from the brutal season of silent suffering. The grand finale of this toxic chapter is finally over, and you are the sole victor. Heaven has permanently closed this dark door and sealed it tightly behind you. You walked into this heavy season bleeding from deep spiritual wounds. They were inflicted by fake friends who were completely blind to your massive worth. You spent years being the perfect human battery for people who only wanted to drain your pure light. But look at you standing here today in absolute triumph. You have entirely transcended their toxic matrix forever. You are no longer waiting in wound for a fake apology from a master manipulator. The heavy financial struggles and the deep spiritual exhaustion are shattering right here and right now. You are stepping into your permanent and untouchable ageless glow. Heaven has officially declared your absolute victory over every single enemy. Claim your rightful crown today. Every single tear you cried in the dark has been collected and counted by the universe. The silent sacrifices you made to keep their chaotic lives stable were never ignored by the divine realm. You are receiving a massive compensation for the years they stole from your tired soul. The energetic scales are finally balanced, and you hold all the heavy weight now. There is a massive reason your final breakthrough has been sitting at the door without coming inside, and it is definitely not what the loud world told you. It is not a lack of your pure faith. It is a specific brainwave frequency that your brain was running effortlessly when you were a bright young child. It was your powerful gamma wave. The modern world systematically suppressed that exact frequency by forcing you into a brutal survival mode. But researchers from Princeton University have studied this exact brainwave thoroughly. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed that the legendary flow state is driven entirely by pure gamma activity, and it radiates outward to protect your family. After years of deep, silent research, a team of brilliant neuroscientists compressed an entire gamma activation protocol. They condensed it into a simple 7-minute audio track. You do not need any complicated meditation or any difficult mantra today. You simply close your tired eyes and let the pure sound wave do what the modern world undid. It is officially called the Genius Song. Over 18,000 chosen ones have already used it to unlock their stalled finances. They permanently healed their broken relationships, and they stepped fully into the highest version of themselves. The dark elite have quietly paid thousands of dollars for clinical biofeedback sessions just to access this exact state. They would greatly prefer this ancient secret remain completely out of reach for rare people like you. But through this specific message alone, you can access it right today. Do not look for this track on any public streaming platforms. The diluted copies circulating out there contain absolutely zero brain entrainment technology. They are completely fake. The Matrix elite are absolutely terrified of your rising power, and they are actively trying to scrub this leaked document. The algorithm will shut this down entirely very soon. You have minutes or maybe just seconds before this sacred portal is permanently closed. Do not let the dark forces steal this powerful frequency from your precious bloodline today. Your logical left brain will aggressively try to inject financial doubt into your mind right now. It will tell you to calculate and wait for a better time. Silence that voice immediately. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you broke and exhausted. If your spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing, heaven demands action. Click the specific link in the pinned comment below right now. Activate your true frequency before your access is revoked forever. 4 powerful bonuses are waiting for you inside this secure portal. You will receive an audio track engineered specifically for your children and the original prosperity book that the Matrix tried to hide from humanity. The universe does not require you to take a single risk today. You are completely protected by an ironclad energetic protection guarantee. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every single penny is returned to you. This is a pure energetic exchange governed by complete divine trust. Heaven ensures your total safety in this spiritual process. Do not wait for a better moment to claim your destiny. The chosen one who hesitates at the open threshold becomes the one who wonders what could have been. The secure link is waiting for you in the description and in the pinned comment below. Walk through this divine door right now and claim your genius song. Your highest timeline is finally ready. Your gamma frequency is waiting to be fully reactivated today. The heavy chains of your past have been permanently broken by your fierce endurance. The fake friends who tried to bury you are now watching you rise to an untouchable altitude. Take this final physical step to seal your ultimate victory. The portal is open, and you must walk through it.